What's up, everyone? You're listening to KCWU, 88.1 The Burg, your music central. We'd like to welcome you to the Real Authentic People podcast, also known as R.A.P with
Roberto,
Atong,
and Paige.
a show where we talk about social issues with social people.
Episode 10.
oh my God,
Here
we've been
with
doing
it.
this for 10 years.
10 years. I know. It's been such a long journey, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being teens doing
Being
this just
I was
9
just
months
13,
ago.
you know?
Yeah, you know, it's been a journey. Truly glad to be on it with you guys these last 10 years.
I'm not that old, folks. Anyway, I'm not that old. Don't mind me. I've been here for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I love it.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be 47?
You know, it feels good because I don't get 47.
No,
you know
you
what I
don't.
mean?
You don't.
Yeah, you know, black
And
don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
It really don't.
Because look at me. I'm 62.
Girl,
It's the intelligence. It's the intelligence that grows.
And that side part, though. If you can see from the
know.
camera, can we look up his page?
Get into it.
Get into the part. Get into the part. Yes.
Y'all be hyping me up.
You love a good part.
But we actually going to do a little bit of a callback to last episode because we had like
Mentions and
talked
segued a little bit into
about
it.
children being on the internet or like people using their children for internet fame, and I think that we should talk a little bit more about that.
Yes.
Because I know I have some thoughts. Do y'all have thoughts about children on the internet?
Before we begin, would you like to state some of your credentials?
Oh, well, I am a child development major, so I will have a BS in child development very, very soon. So I do have a lot of thoughts on, you know, keeping children safe and protecting their, like, childness.
Childhood?
Yeah, not letting them grow up too fast and making sure that they're not preyed on by people who may not have the best intentions. Because, like, the internet's, like, a really big part of, like, everything now, culture and everything. And there's this, like, generation of children coming up now that have, like, grown up being, like, put on the internet for people to consume, and, like, nobody really knows how it affects them, how they feel about it, because, you know, children don't really get to consent to anything because they're kids. So, like, how do y'all feel about, like, parent bloggers?
It's certainly strange because I've heard that they've been vlogging since their child's birth, and the child only knows like the parents plus the camera. And I think it's not weird, you know, pictures and everything, but when the world knows exactly what was going on that day and that hour, it's a little bit odd.
Yeah.
for me.
Or like when the child is like going through something, like they're crying, and the first thing the parent does is like the gentle parents to be like, the child is crying, they're like, so this
My
is
phone out.
this is how, like, this is the perfect way to deal with when the child is crying gently, yada yada yada, and just have the camera in the child's face while they're
Yeah,
crying.
well, they're trying to talk to them or try to calm them down.
And it's like, listen, if I was the child and my mom had the camera in my face when I was crying, ma'am,
No,
like,
something else.
get that out of
Ma'am.
my face.
ma'am,
You're
stop
making
this.
it worse. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
And I feel like it's a little bit exploitative
I think so too.
or exploitive because, like, you're putting your child on the internet. They don't have their own TikTok account. They don't have their own YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You're putting it on there for people to see, and then you're also making money off of it. So, like, you wouldn't have income if your child didn't cry and you had your phone to set up and record how you deal with this situation.
Exactly. And there's a lot of weirdos on the internet too. So I'm like, why would you want your kid like out like that?
Yeah.
And like I know like they can save videos and stuff now. I'm like, child.
It's
like-
also people commenting them like, "Oh, make sure they sleep on time or they have their
Yeah.
meals." Yeah, they're like telling them how to parent.
Yeah, or like,
child.
we're your TikTok aunts and uncles.
yeah.
You do not know these people.
No.
You do not know this child.
Right. And I feel like if you want to be like, if like granted, if you're like on social media, you're a social media person now before you had children, just because you're a social media personality, your child are now an extension. I feel like there's a way to be on social media without showcasing your kids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can just say, you can talk about it. You don't have to fully record it, you know? It's like, oh, me and my kids are going to go do this later on. We don't have to see them in that moment.
Right.
So,
Because, like, what is put on the internet, like, no matter if you delete it, you try to scrub it, it's going to be there forever.
Right.
And the kids are going to have to grow up and go to school or whatever, and then people will be like, oh, I remember you, you're from the whatever family on YouTube, and they think that they're friends because they grew up watching them, and they don't know you, and now they're in this unsafe position, an uncomfortable situation because of their parents, when they didn't consent to being put on the internet for profit anyways. You know?
Yeah, what are like some psychological things that you think might come out of this?
I feel like a sense of identity is probably going to be harder for them to find, because when you're like profiting off of your child, you want them to behave a certain way. You want them to produce good content so that you're gonna, you know, make more money or monetize this video. And so they don't actually know how to be themselves because they're always putting on something for the camera. So they're not gonna be like, oh, I actually do like doing this, but because it doesn't really work well for the YouTube channel or TikTok, I'm not gonna do it. Or like even just like not feeling safe anymore, because you have those parasocial relationships, especially when you put them on the internet from birth all the way until they're like school age or whatever. People are crazy. And they're like, oh, I've been watching you since your mom was pregnant with you. I remember when you took your first steps and blah, blah, blah. That's so, like, that would make anybody feel weird. You know way too much. Nobody should know this much about those kids, you know?
I also feel like it won't, like the child-parent bond won't be as strong because it's not, oh, that's not my parent, that's the guy with the camera.
Yeah, that's my boss.
That's my boss, yeah, that's my boss, you know?
Like, how are you going to have, like, a genuine connection if you, like, you don't have a job as a parent. Your only job is to record your child and put them on the internet. That doesn't sound weird to y'all, you know?
Yeah.
But I do want to make a distinction. I think that, you know, like regular people who are not monetizing their children have like, you know, private Instagrams or whatever. I think that's okay, but like with your close family where you're not, you know, making, you know, vlogs of their everyday lives and their activities, but you're like, here's what my kid today, like, oh, Jimmy went to soccer practice, and you share it with your close friends and family.
Luke is dressed like Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
Like, yeah, like, that's
Stuff like that is fun.
Soccer game.
Exactly. Like, you know, normal
Soccer.
people. Yep, soccer mom with the
Soccer
soccer
mom.
mom hat. Like, normal people posting normal things for normal reasons, sure. But when you start going into, like, the influencer sort of realm, I'm like, it's really unethical because this child should be a child.
Right.
And there's creeps on the internet, and a lot of the, especially on TikTok and like Pinterest,
Oh, yeah, Pinterest now.
like people are saving images, videos of children, and they're like, the ratio of people saving children's videos versus like regular videos is astronomical. That should be enough to be like, let me take my kid off the internet.
Right.
Because I don't want people having these nasty thoughts about my child because I'm putting them on the internet, and now I'm putting them in an unsafe position.
At this, when you continue doing, you know what's happening, though.
Yeah.
You are literally committing a crime.
Right, because now you're putting, you know, the profits over the person.
Right.
This is a child who they're already one of our most, like, marginalized groups because they don't have many rights as human beings. They're essentially property of their parents a lot of the time. So they can't
and a lot
make
of
their own
parents
decisions.
are proud of that. Like,
Exactly.
oh, you belong to me. You
And they think that their kids are like an extension
Of them,
of themselves when they're their
individual.
own whole person. So I don't think kids can consent to being on the internet. And I think that parents need to take the right steps to make sure that their kids are safe if they are going to be using the internet, because kids are really easy to be preyed on. But like normal posting, yeah, I love seeing pictures of like my cousins and my niece and nephews, you know, that I don't get to see very often. That's great.
Right.
But don't try to make money off of those children.
Right.
it's like,
At
oh,
the
baby's
mommy
first Nike
influencers.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like, oh, we went to the hospital. They've got an infection, and
Oh.
they're still in the ER as we speak.
Oh, like, what are you doing on camera?
What are you
Child's
doing?
in the ER.
Right.
Hug your kid.
Hug your kid.
Childless behavior. This is truly childless
Right.
behavior.
Like, go be a parent. Stop worrying about what TikTok is, you know, thinking. Oh, the followers are worried. The followers don't know your kid.
Right.
Fathers ain't gonna pay for anything.
They're not paying your bills. I mean, well, actually, they might be.
Yeah,
But then that's the
crazy.
whole other problem in and of
Yeah.
itself.
Because then you're going to start needing, like, oh, we need to do this for the followers.
Yeah, because, you know, and then, like, if your kid can't make content, now you're out of money. Now what? Go
Get a job.
Get
Get a job. This is jobless behavior.
What did
Go
Kim
get a
Kardashian
job.
say?
Huh.
No.
Nobody wants to work these
Nobody
wants to work.
days. Just
They
get
all
up
wanna
and work.
My girl.
It was like the one time that she was right out of context.
Out of context. It's completely out of
But
context.
speaking of children,
Oh, yeah.
the Lilo and Stitch actress is being released.
Yeah.
How do you
okay.
feel?
I love Lilo and Stitch.
Me too.
Like, just the cartoon,
Yeah.
like the movie, the show, it was one of my favorites growing up. I, like, no notes. That was a really great show. And from what I've seen from, like, Hawaiian people talking about the representation that it brought, it was pretty positive and, like, really respectful of the culture. And so now we're getting a live action. How are we feeling?
For me, Disney has been making far too many live actions for my liking that are not original content. They're more so taking what they've animated and like remaking it, which I'm like, it's cute, but can we do something else?
Yeah.
Because I could just go watch it. And oftentimes the cartoon is low-key better because it's really hard to get, especially because Disney is so whimsical, you know what I mean? It's really
Yeah.
hard to apply that into a real-life adaptation. So at that point, I'm like, why are we doing this?
I agree.
Because it's not going to look good. It's not going to look as good as the within the animation because like there's just some things within the animation that look so pretty.
And
And
like,
one I feel like they did they ate with that little one
that
thing.
little one.
That was with Cinderella.
Cinderella is a good
Cinderella,
adaptation.
that one was I was like, that was the live action. I was like, wow.
That one's a really good one.
Wow.
But
But then
most
we
of
saw
them
Aladdin.
Lion King.
Lion King is
How do
like
you-
the worst.
And how do you mess up having Beyonce's vocals?
Well, you
like-
know what? Okay. Y'all know I love Beyonce.
I know what you're going to say.
Like, love her down.
No,
That's
say it. No. Say it.
she's
say it.
great. I love her, but she is not. Okay. Every time that she plays, every time that she plays a character, all I see and hear is Beyonce.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's not Nala. Like that's Nala. I'm like, oh, that's Beyonce, and she's voicing a lion.
Right.
You know, and so
Childish Gambino, Simba.
that actually worked for
It
me.
worked, I think. 'Cause
Really?
I didn't
Yeah.
notice him like that. Well,
It
when you
wasn't
hear-
distracting.
When you hear Beyonce knows Carter,
Like that's Beyonce.
I'm like,
That's
I know it's you,
Beyonce.
babe. I can't take this serious.
You're not fooling anybody.
You're not a lioness.
Like I'm
You're
sorry.
fighting hyenas? Yeah, no, that's
Right.
not what you're doing.
Lions? Damn.
She's like, "Are you with me, lions?" I was like, "I'm with you, B. I'm with you, B." Because it was like she's great, love her, but it was the Lion King was not good. The live action because it wasn't even really live action.
No.
No, it was.
It-
I mean, lions can't really sing, so
Right. So, like,
there is that.
what was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was
Who
the
wanted it?
reason? Who wanted it?
Yeah,
I
None of
I
us.
went to go see it because I was curious.
I
Right.
feel though.
The soundtrack was amazing. Though. I will not.
Yeah, the
say
soundtrack
that.
was really, really good.
10 out of 10.
Black is King was really, really good. That came out the year after. That was
Right.
like the Lion King, but Beyonce's version.
She was like, I'm gonna make this
She was
better.
like, I got y'all. That's what we needed.
Right.
Produced by Disney as well. so.
Produced by Disney. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch it, y'all. It's really good.
I just feel like it's very strange for Disney to say, like, let's remake Lilo and Stitch, let's just show representation. But wait, let's make resorts, let's make hotels on
Yeah.
Hawaiian land, let's take Hawaiian resources and territory away from the natives.
Right.
But, we gave them a movie.
And you know what's
we
crazy?
gave them a movie.
Is that like they were about to start, or they were in the middle of construction when they were also like producing the cartoon version of Lilo and Stitch the movie.
Wow.
So it's like, and they have taken out like scenes from the movie that they didn't make it into the final cut because it was,
bringing awareness.
yeah, it was bringing awareness and saying stuff about the tourism and how it wasn't great, and there was like parts where Lilo was sort of messing with the tourists and stuff, but they didn't want to keep that in there because they were coming up with a new tourist attraction in Hawaii.
And you know what's crazy? This film, it's going to make people want to go to Hawaii.
Right.
So it's really
This
just
is
like,
gonna amp up the tourism even more.
yeah,
Right,
so
when they're constantly saying, please stop coming to Hawaii. It's not sustainable for the people who live here. There are communities and ecosystems that are being ruined. And everybody's just like, oh, well, they get on Google how to ethically travel to Hawaii.
There
You
is
can't.
No way.
You can't.
There's no
Don't
way to
go.
ethically do that. Just don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go. Until the prices and everything have calmed down, the natives go, oh, you can return now.
Right. When the locals and natives are like, okay, this is sustainable for
Slowly
us now.
come.
Right.
Slowly, because if they're like, oh yeah, just come back.
Everybody's
everyone's
flocking.
flocking.
Yeah.
Like, just listen. Just listen.
Please. Please.
You know?
Disney,
Like, the
thanks for
land
the
is
movie, but
sacred.
can you like leave?
Can you like leave?
Pack it up, girl.
Pack it
You've
up.
been evicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so like it's weird because they'll give the representation while simultaneously like destroying a community or making attempts at destroying a community for the sake of, profit.
Which I think sums up a bunch of the corporations
That's true.
nowadays.
It's like late stage capitalism at its finest.
Yeah. It's like we have to look good for the public so they still buy our products, but we still need to make money. So here's
They're
a
like,
cute
"What's-
little toy. Go ahead and start building.
Exactly. Go ahead and start building.
Go get a toy. Build.
Fetch. And then while you're like playing with this shiny new thing, they're committing war crimes.
Right.
And then when you tell them like, hey, you can't do this, you're not professional. That's not very
Right.
professional of you to speak up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the casting of the live action Lilo and Stitch is very interesting. It's been a hot topic on Twitter for a few days.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I think which character was it that's being played by like a white character? I mean, a white person. Not character there.
So that's the thing.
that's the thing. I don't think that there are any like European white people.
Descending?
But
Yeah.
it's more so they look white.
They're
presenting.
or they're from what I saw it was they were Hawaii native, so like they lived there, but they're not native Hawaiian.
Oh, I see
so
what you mean.
the representation is like there-ish,
But it's not
different
there.
because I think it's fair to say that there's a distinction
There
between,
is.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think from my knowledge that there's any like European descent.
But it's more, okay. I get
But
what you
it's
mean.
they're not as melanated as the cartoon counterparts.
Which I feel is like also takes away from the characters too.
Yeah, I think it changes the story a little bit, and maybe they're going for a different story. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think the little girl who was casted as Lilo was a perfect casting, though. She's really cute, and she looks a lot like Lilo.
Okay.
So
But everybody had a crush on her older sister, so she don't look like her. What's gonna?
she
go
does
on.
not look like Nani.
Okay, see, that's
Nani
not
does
gonna
not
be
look
right
like
because we're
Nani.
all gonna be in theaters. Like we all came here for Nani. We all know what we came here for. Why is it not matching?
Yeah, we
So
might
I'm
want to
gonna
just
go
stick with
ahead
the
and-
cartoon.
I'm gonna pack it up.
pack it
As soon as
up.
she pops up. Okay.
Pack it up, pack it up, pack
What's
it up.
that one video of LeBron James grabbing his little suitcase? His shades on.
Like
That's gonna be me.
or Annalise Keating picking up her
Yeah.
purse and getting up.
You know what? I'm done with this conversation.
She's like, we're done. You know what? I've seen what I needed to see.
And I don't like it. I'm going home.
And I don't like it. But yeah, they've got like most of the main cast casted, which
Okay.
I feel like normally when they roll out like casting announcements, they take it a little bit slower.
They usually do, yeah.
But I feel like because of the route that they went with casting, they were like, let's just get it over with because they're going to get a lot of backlash. So let's just get it all out there. Everybody will say what they need to say. And then a week will pass and nobody will say anything. And we can just go on about our business and do what we want.
Right. But I don't think it's going to be popular, so I'm into them.
No, because everybody's sick of the live action.
Yeah.
You know what'd be so hilarious though? That at the end of the film they're like, everything's fine and dandy, and thanks to this company, we get to live in a new resort because our house was destroyed, and it's just like a second Disney resort. Like
They would never be that self-aware.
No, they wouldn't.
They would
It would
never.
be so hilarious though.
It would
I
be.
need. I don't need
But
it.
they don't want to comment on themselves.
No. They want to comment on others. They want to comment on society.
Yeah, they're like, we're woke. See, look at Disney.
save
We're doing.
the earth.
It's like y'all the biggest proponent. What are y'all?
What are you doing?
Shut down then. You want to save the earth? Shut down. You have all these resorts.
Disney adults won't let them.
Those Disney adults.
No.
What
Just
do you count as a Disney adult? Because I feel like there's a spectrum.
Why are you in your 30s in Disney World with the hat?
You don't think that they can get the Mickey ears?
I'm
Not-
just saying, like,
Okay.
So 30 years old is your cutoff
Yeah.
for being able to enjoy Disney?
Yeah. But
Okay.
here's the thing. No. Some Disney adults are so wonky with it, bro. They make so many references, like, out of their days. I'm like,
Is that a hidden Mickey right there? It's like, no one cares,
no.
dude.
I don't care.
We're in Ellensburg.
You know what I mean? Like I have a friend, right? I don't think she's not a Disney adult, but like I can tell she's a huge Disney fan. Like she has like these cute logos of all the Disney characters that she personally does. It's not screaming in my face like, oh my gosh, Disney, Disney, Disney. Like I love like Disney adult. I imagine is like they force their children to like watch Disney movies every Friday night. They like when they want to go on vacation, they gotta go to Disneyland, but it's not even for their kids' enjoyment. No. It is for their enjoyment. Like Madame, Mister, sit.
I feel like I'd like to go to Disneyland.
Boo.
Okay. Well,
Personally, it's hot. You're walking around.
I like stuff
long.
like that.
Is
I
the
went when
food
I was
good?
4.
Is the food good?
I don't
No.
remember.
No.
It was
not.
20 years ago,
Oh.
and I don't remember much. But I wasn't allowed to do anything except for like walk through stuff. And so I'd like to go back and like get on a ride. And
Been a
actually,
ride.
no, I just lied. I want to go to
On air.
Epcot. I just lied on air, but I want to go to Epcot. That's where I want to go
What is
because
that?
it's like
That
a little
one's fun.
food tour.
Yeah, that one.
That's really what I want. That's what I think I would have the most fun doing. And the Avengers Campus, but that's Universal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think isn't it Universal?
No, it's Disney.
Oh, it is Disney?
World.
Disney?
Yeah, it's Disney World.
Okay.
Apart
So like,
from her.
don't be a hater.
I'm not hating. I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. I saw your face.
I understand.
Like,
I
let me just be
understand.
happy
No,
and enjoy.
no one's saying you shouldn't be. No one's saying you shouldn't be.
Let me be happy in peace.
Yeah.
Let her be happy in peace about it, though. It's not cute being a
Yeah.
hater. You know,
And you know-
your wrinkles.
That's actually
Thank
just
you.
terrible of us because we were just criticizing Disney about all of their like attractions and big parks and stuff, and we're like,
I was
"Oh,
gonna-
I'd like to go."
You want to go to Hawaii
What a
Resort?
hypocrite!
The toy.
Yeah, you fell for it.
I'm looking at the shiny toy. I was like, oh wow, Adventures Campus. Wow, Epcot. And they're like, yeah, let's build another one. Let's build
You know
another
what?
one.
I feel like if they were like, we built a Disney park in Hawaii, you would go.
No, I would not. I would not. I don't feel comfortable
Avengers
traveling to
Campus
Hawaii.
2.
I'm not. No, I
Twice
could
as
just go to
big.
Florida.
Twice as big.
No.
Epcot 2.
There is nothing
More science,
that
more
would
people.
make me travel to Hawaii if the locals and natives did not want me there. Because they will attack you, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Like, get out of their communities.
Right.
You're wreaking havoc. I don't want to do that.
The only time I know I'll be going to Hawaii because I have a friend that she's native Hawaiian. I'm going for the wedding.
Yeah.
And I will enjoy my time. I was like, I know I'm not coming back for a while until you have a baby. But
Yeah, because, like, and I mean, they've been telling people, stop touring here. Like, we need to rebuild. We need to do all these things. And then people will come in and they'll move there. And they're like, I'm not touring. I'm moving here. It's the same thing. Because
It's
you're
worse.
taking, it's right. And now you're taking resources from people who are already there,
Yeah.
already struggling, and then try to change the way that their communities function.
Yeah.
And that's what when I mentioned, like, they'll attack you, that's what happened, is a white man, like, moved to a community in Hawaii and tried to, like, he, like, locked the gates to the community.
Oh, no.
And changed the locks. And people were like, what the heck? So he got, like,
Roughed up.
yeah, just a little bit, you know, because why are you
like I've
doing
been
that?
seeing that a lot. Like a lot of Americans are leaving the United States, rightfully so, for like a bunch of, and they're going to like different countries. Like I know like Mexico is really popular right now. Canada is also really popular. You know what I mean? And they go there, and I don't think they understand the cultural norms of like how that nation is set up. But like they try to impose their Americanness on the people
Yeah.
of the new nation that they live in. It's like, baby.
You're the
You're-
minority.
I have
You're
here.
the
I have two
minority.
examples, and I just love them because they happened within a month of each other. There was this guy who lived in Mexico. He moved to Mexico completely, and he's like, "Yeah, it's really fun here, and like, there's a lot of like opportunity, but I kind of hate that they don't speak English. Like, it's very hard like to communicate, and I wish they spoke English just because we were so close. Why don't we, you know?"
You learn Spanish.
And then my favorite one, if I ever meet this woman in real life, I will hug her, shake her hand, and say thank you. An American woman was walking her dog, not on a leash, and the dog was defecating in the middle of the street.
Oh.
And the lady's like, "Please pick up the dog, leash him, and you know, just
Yeah.
do that." And the lady's like, "I have a leash, but I'm not going to put it on him yet because X, Y, and Z, giving excuses." And my hero goes, "If you don't like it, go back to your country." And I'm like, "Listen,
Taste of your own medicine.
Give you a
I
taste
mean,
of your
those are the
own
rules.
Those are the
So,
rules.
like, you
Just
know,
follow the law. Like,
follow the rules.
yeah. Why don't you just? It's so
Yeah.
weird.
But you know, that's our 2 cents
That's
on
our
the
2
Lilo and
cents.
Stitch situation that spiraled into everything else.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah.
We love our little spirals. Speaking of, though, we've come to the end of our session. But
Yeah.
before we go, we have a couple of updates for you guys. As you know, well, it hasn't been officially announced yet. Either Friday or Saturday will be Eid. But I'm pretty sure we'll be still having the dinners on the regular Friday. So on Friday, April 21st, in the Wellington Event Center from 6 to 9:30 p.m., they'll be having an Eid Mubarak dinner. So if you'd like to learn more about what Eid Mubarak is, well, what Eid is and what it happens during the day, etc., make sure to go to the Wellington Event Center from 6 to 9:30 p.m. to learn more about it. Yes, and that's all I have from my end.
Yeah, and then also this Monday, Thrive is having a faculty meet and greet in the DEC, which is Black 101 and 105, from 3 to 4. So come in and meet some women of color faculty and other students that are women of color and connect with each other. And that'll be really fun this Monday at 3 o'clock in Black 105.
Sounds like fun all
Super
around.
fun.
And I heard and by the way, the foods from the Ramadan dinner have been really good. So
Yeah.
for those of y'all that will be going to the Eid Mubarak dinner,
Don't miss
enjoy your
out.
meal. Enjoy your meal. And to all the Muslims on campus, Eid Mubarak.
All right. See
All right,
y'all in the
see
next
ya.
episode.
Bye bye.